Hello everyone, I'm your host Veronica Guiti, and today is Wednesday, July 20th, and of course you are watching Open, a live program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. We want to encourage you to stay connected to us, so you can find us on Twitter at BronxNet TV and on Facebook at Open BronxNet Television. Our first guest is here today to give us the latest news from the world of politics and those making headlines. Welcome political contributor and my friend JC Polanco.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
Darren, you better come back quick.
We love you, Darren. Listen, I'm just here to fill in.
You have a great show today, though.
Thank you. It's going to be wonderful, but I'm so happy that we get to open it up with you.
Thank you.
So, the RNC.
Yeah, it's
What
good
you
convention
think?
time.
Day three is upon us.
I know, conventions are always exciting because the parties get to put on a show for the country. We get to see interesting speakers. We get to hear nice music. We get to hear, they're preaching to the choir. We get that football head coach halftime speech.
Right.
And the purpose of this convention is to try to present Donald Trump in a different light. We've seen Donald Trump all year. I know I've been here all year. I'm not a Donald Trump fan.
I know you're not.
No.
I know you're not.
So what I think,
you were a Cruz fan.
I was a Rubio fan.
Rubio.
And Cruz was like my Hail Mary.
Oh.
Please don't let this happen. And now I'm just like, where am I? But the Bronx GOP is very well represented at the Republican National Convention. We have our Vice Chairman Mike Rendino there. We have the Black Republican Council President Fred Brown, and a host of other district leaders that are representing the county GOP.
And what are their feelings? Are they?
They love Trump.
They do.
They do. I'm a man without a country. I'm about myself on this island. I have to tell you, they're gung ho about Trump, and a lot of people are out there. They're gung ho. They feel that Trump can get them to victory, and the convention's purpose is to present Trump in a different light, a more presidential light, by having these people talk about him in a way that I never think would happen. For example, yesterday Paul Ryan came on and lauded Donald Trump and how incredible Donald Trump would be. We saw Senator Mitch McConnell do the same thing. Tonight is the day where I'm going to, call Darren. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell Shirley. I'm going to be in therapy because tonight I see not only Rubio, but Cruz are going to speak. So I don't know what happened.
So do you feel like they feel that, okay, we have to jump on board?
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. They feel that party unity is going to be the way to win. Now, in addition to presenting Trump in a different light, unifying the party is the most important thing right now, because without a unified Republican Party, you can't win. Which is why it was interesting to see how the anti-Trump forces at the convention, those delegates from Colorado and Iowa and Virginia, on day one attempted to use the rules to their advantage by collecting these petitions that would create an environment where they'd be able to vote on the rules of the platform in the Republican Party. Their goal was to change some things that they didn't get a chance to change before the primary started. Some insider baseball, things like, should Republicans only vote in Republican primaries, for example?
I know that was a big question.
Yeah, the order of the Republican primaries, so that maybe perhaps this doesn't happen in the future. So, and a lot of those people didn't even get a chance to have their say on Monday. So it started off on the wrong note. On day one, we saw how discontent they were. There's still some discontent there. You have a lot of people that are not in favor of Donald Trump. And in the next few days, we're going to see, tonight and tomorrow, we're going to see what is this party going to do to extend an olive branch to those people that are not in favor of Donald Trump to come aboard. And that's going to be interesting to see. And a lot of it's going to be tonight and tomorrow. What is Cruz going to possibly tell us? After Trump accuses his dad of participating in the assassination of JFK, Cruz is speaking tonight. You can't make this up. Rubio, who's forever and ever, even me, who's a huge Rubio supporter, he's little Marco. I mean, Marco Rubio can't say anything positive. For example, he'll say, good job with Governor Pence. And Twitter is lit up saying, little Marco approves. I'm like, this guy branded you, little Marco. What could you possibly say tonight to convince people like me that Donald Trump is presidential?
Well, the speechwriters are definitely busy. And I know that we've been hearing a lot about this, but I definitely want to get your take on Melania. And also there was discussion yesterday about Junior also plagiarizing. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm not familiar with the Junior story on plagiarizing, but I am familiar with the Melania story. And quite frankly, look, it's not that big of a deal. When I'm watching the speech and an hour later it's breaking news, I'm thinking another terrorist attack. I'm telling you. When I saw breaking news at the bottom, I'm thinking, what happened here? Melania Trump speech was plagiarized. Are you kidding me? And then what I see, it's, okay, I would have failed her. If she were my student and she submitted this, first of all, we go to Turnitin.com, which would have picked it up like this, as you well know.
Yes.
And this would have never happened. But some staffer somewhere plagiarizes the speech. We know Melania didn't write that part. She before the convention, she said she wrote most of it with a little help. Well, I guess this was the little help she was talking about.
Well, do you think it's part or parts? Because when you put it side by side to Michelle Obama's speech, do you see that? Do you feel like a large chunk of it was actually taken out, or do you think that they were just maybe they found it inspiring and they said,
No,
okay,
I'm sure,
let's use some of
Michelle
this.
Obama's speech was great, but I mean, there are some great speeches. Matter of fact, not that I condone Will Star Hip Hop on Instagram. Not
Let's
that I
please
condone
not.
it. I do not. But they do have an interesting video assortment of President Barack Obama and John Edwards, where President Obama verbatim takes a speech from John Edwards. They have Joe Biden doing the same thing. They have other leaders around the world doing the same thing. And I don't know why they put this up, because it doesn't help, in any way the Democrats' case. And I thought it was a Democratic Party organization. But in this case, I think there were 55 words that Melania had speechwriters took from Michelle Obama's speech in 2008. It really isn't that big of a deal. She did a good job. I think she came on. She expressed how she felt about her husband. And we all know that part was plagiarized. We know Melania had nothing to do with it. We know it was some staffer somewhere who just lifted it from Google. It doesn't speak to her character. It doesn't speak to any of these things. And I really think, and this is where I get a little partisan, and I'm not pro-Trump, but I think this is a method that is the method of attacking Melania and using this plagiarism argument is an effort to distract us from all of the lies and all of those lies that Hillary has written, and all of the things and all of those emails she's deleted, and all of the lies she told the families of Benghazi. I'm being honest. These are real things that we got to talk about next week, and there's a way to deflect from that. Oh, everybody does it. No. This is a speechwriter staffer that really probably wasn't that important on the campaign team that lifted some words from Michelle Obama and shouldn't be breaking news across the country.
So you feel like once he's fired, everything will be fine going forward. What do you expect from tonight's convention?
Tonight's convention, I expect Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz not to say that Trump's the best thing ever. If they do, they lack political integrity. John Kasich, who's the governor of Ohio, governor of the location where this is happening, is not attending the convention. Not to mention that the last two Republican presidents are not going, and the last two Republican nominees are not going. So you have 4 living Republican presidential candidates and nominees that are not going to this convention on principle. And then to add to that, you have countless governors and countless senators who are just not going because they disagree with Donald Trump's positions on trade, on immigration, on Muslim ban, etc. To see these men, Senator Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, be victims of the bullying that Donald Trump did for a year. To see them tonight come on, and if they say anything like Donald Trump's the best thing ever, they will lack political integrity.
Do you feel that other people will feel that same way? Do you think
I know they will. I know they will. Look, you have to be honest. This is about political integrity. Now, if they go in there and say Hillary Clinton would be the worst thing that could happen to us, and let me tell you why, and get off stage, then that's fine, right? But I could do that speech.
Right.
But, I mean, for them to go tonight and tell us how Donald Trump's the best thing ever, after Ted Cruz on his last day as a candidate called him a pathological liar, called him everything that you could imagine in the book. Tonight, if they come out and say anything of the sort, they will forever lack political integrity in my book.
I guess we'll see tonight whether or not they'll be the best of friends or if they'll just stick to what Hillary is not, or how she's not going to be a good president.
I think the Democratic convention next week is going to be interesting. The vice presidential pick for the Democrats is about to be announced. I think it's going to be the senator from Virginia, Kane. I think he speaks Spanish fluently. He was a former governor, former head of the DNC. If she picks him, he's a little boring, so he's not going to be exciting. But so is Governor Mike Pence. These aren't exciting figures. So we'll see what happens next week.
We'll see what happens, JC. All right, thank you. We have to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll find out how to create a closer relationship with law enforcement.